Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So what is the artwork behind you? Since
I
I'm
got that from my wife. She got it, probably in Florida and Miami. It's signed by someone that she knows.
okay, is
I don't
is she
know. I'm not sure. Like she's
okay?
got this guy. I just went back to Florida to meet a bunch of her friends and stuff because we just got married. So I'm meeting all her relatives and friends. And
Cool.
Côte d'Azur is this place in France, in the south of France, but and she had that in her house when I met her. And I said, that's funny because that place is the first restaurant I worked at in La Jolla, California. I went down there to live with my mom. I was in San Diego and I had to get a job and I was a dishwasher at Côte d'Azur. And I was like, it was a French pastry place. I mean, it was a high-end French restaurant. And as a dishwasher at the time, I was, in between colleges, in between UC Santa Barbara and USC. I didn't have any money or anything, and I ate so many of their pastries in the freezer and the ice cream and food right off the fucking plates
Right.
of this
It,
of this super high end, you know, what a life, man. It was like I probably ate some of the most expensive pastries, like just stuffing my face in the freezer. Like I had no idea how good I was like, these are just insane. I'd never before or since had anything like that. But anyway,
yeah,
she brought that over from, her place into our new place, and it goes very well. Gives me a little
yeah.
color in the back. Look at that frame and everything. It has
I,
sentimental value.
I like it. And so, I mean, the food was going to go to waste anyway if
I
if
don't
you're the
think so.
dishwasher.
No, man. Oh, the food off the other people's plates as I was clearing them. Yeah, that was going to go to
That,
waste.
that's what I'm picturing. So
But
you
I
got other
wanted,
food.
no, but there's no dishes to wash. I would walk into the freezer, like you never been a dishwasher? I'm back in the kitchen. I go into the freezer, just trays of amazing French pastry desserts. And Kristen, I mean, I wish I could have some of those again today, just to remind me, like, wow, I used to just stuff my face with those and then go out like, wash more dishes. It was a really great job. I didn't have it for very long. I think we're going to
So
go actually back to La Jolla December 28th to celebrate our marriage. So it'll be our 1 year anniversary. And I'll look for that restaurant. We're going to stay one night in La Jolla. It's so nice.
the restaurant's still around.
I don't know. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
really done any research or anything. I doubt it's been so long. It was 1980.
Okay. And so that was your first job. So what was that
No,
like
it was my first job in La Jolla.
in La Jolla? What was your first job?
My first job was Farrell's, very similar. Farrell's Ice Cream
Ice
and
cream?
Baking. Yes.
The birthday take place to go on your birthday.
Yes. And I
Which
was also a dishwasher, and I
okay,
would
you
just scoop ice cream out of the troughs that would come by.
troughs.
Remember the trough?
Yeah.
I got to run a trough once, but that's really just for the waiters. But I felt like I had really made it when I got to run a trough around. Oh, I'm like an actor now, and I'm on the floor, I'm out front with the customers. That was my
Oh,
first job, and I felt I made it when I got to run a trough.
I mean, what was that like? Were there a lot of people who were pretty like were they actors that were in between stuff? Or I mean,
No, this
because
is
I
Palos
remember at
Verdes.
Farrell's.
This
Okay,
is 1976. I'm in Palos Verdes. I turned 16. I had a motorcycle. My dad goes, "You can work. You're 16. You can get." So I went
yeah.
down and got this job at Farrell's. First job ever, just dishwasher. I'm a dishwasher now too. That is my job at this house. My job is to do the dishes. So I've always, I've been drawn to that activity all my life, but it was my very first job. And I remember at one point, the coolest guy in the club, the waiter who was super cool and a surfer, he came by around everybody, the manager, all the dishwashers, the staff, said, "Purple dot LSD, want one?" Everyone's doing it. I'm like, yes. First time I took LSD was at work, and I just went, work's insane. This work is so gnarly. work is where you go to get really high. You know, like you're on, everyone's on
Yep.
acid in this in this establishment. I was like blown away that how cool work could be. So
So
my first experience to work was like work's fun.
yeah,
Fucking
and
ice
so
cream, LSD, you
I
mix with
mean,
the crowd.
yeah,
Woo, I'm a performer. I wasn't an actor back then. I was a surfer. I mean, I was in high school. I mean, I didn't start acting until I graduated college. Yes, I was studying acting in college, but I wouldn't say I'm an actor until I'm got my SAG card, professional actor. Then
yeah.
full time.
So then, what was the trip like while you're there? I mean, getting to have your first trip. I mean, did that make maybe that's why you like washing dishes so much now? You just
Maybe I
got
don't know.
right in the right zone right there,
I
and
just felt
got
like
to
it was
figure it
cool to
out.
be part of the group, like everybody was older than me, and the guy that passed that shit out was super cool. And, our manager was super, I was so naive. I was so sheltered and naive, but I did like, even back then, I liked drugs, I knew drugs were going to be part of my story. But it was cool, man. I loved it. My second, I didn't have that job for very long. I never made it up to waiter. I'm still washing dishes, and I got a job in a surf shop. There was a surf shop opening in my town, which is very rare. And it only opened for a little while, and it wasn't open for long, but it was called Kanoa Surf. Tuzo and Kip Jurger opened a surf shop in Palos Verdes up at the top of the hill at the mall. And I'm like, it's closer to my house. I'm a surfer, and I got the job. I knew some people who had, interviewed and got the job. And I left there. I was like, I gotta go. I got another job. Thank you very much. Like, oh man, you're doing so well. We're sorry to leave you, man. We're
Yeah.
sorry for you to leave us. We're sorry you're leaving us. But
So,
yeah, I
so
got a job in a surf shop, and I worked in that surf shop for the next 3 years on and off when I would come back from college, in the summer, and then, you know, that was a great job. I got to see the manager, Greg Bowman, and make an amends to him, because I was just a little thief and a flake and total, juvenile delinquent.
as we some of us may have been at that time, I think
Yeah,
I was kind of there too.
he wasn't, he's just a upstanding, smart businessman, when he was 17, 18 years old and just always doing the right thing. And, and there was another guy who worked there, Joe Bark. He didn't really work there. He would supply stuff, but he came in and showed me how to work one day. He had a
Yep.
positive attitude. Yeah, let's take these boxes, and he would just cut them open or tape them up and just super positive, always physically moving with a smile on his face, where I just kind of wanted to stand around and buck around.
Right.
He worked the whole time he was there, smiling, going, "This is easy. This is good. This is fun." That guy's a worker. Like I had to learn work ethic from these people because I was always a shirt trying to avoid. How can I
Uh,
avoid another? And when I got older, when I was an actor for a while, I was friends with Jimmy Spader, and I described something I was doing. I was going on a surf trip, and he goes, "Ah, another actor that hates to work." I've always remembered that. I was like, "Do I hate to work? Am I an LA actor that hates to work?"
I
I'm
mean,
not
you
going to
get
answer that question. That was his opinion.
yeah. And that was a nice way to do it because get to have. I mean, most of the time when you're going out to cut up cardboard, even now, having to, break down boxes and put together boxes. I've spent a lot of time doing that the past few years, breaking down and
It's a very
boxes and
popular pastime these days. A
yeah,
lot of cardboard boxes to break down and open up.
yeah. And they're everywhere. They're
Amazon,
everywhere. Yeah,
everywhere. It's a
I
skill, man. Now I
yeah,
cut them. I buy knives or things just to cut strips of the box, just cut strips. I just like to cut strips and take the strips and stack them and put them in my little trash can. I'm not a, professional by any means, but
not
that's a
yet.
professional way to do it.
Yeah. Um, so I wanted to ask you a question about, so last time you were on here, um, there was you went to get the manicure pedicure and ran into a guy out front. What ended up happening with that? You
My
got to
toes
show
looked
up.
great at my wedding, on the North Shore. I had that story to tell. Since then, I've never been back to that place, but I drive by it every day. I've seen different homeless guys on the street. All I notice now are how crazy and homeless and sad and mentally ill all these people are on that intersection. And I know why. Like, yeah, we don't call. It's just so sad. The other day I saw this other guy who was homeless. He's living on this corner. He got kicked off this corner because some guys opened, I don't know, a stupid little stand-up store, and now he's sleeping on this other corner. And I had bought this stupid jacket that I hated. It was super cheap, and I didn't want it. It was brand new, and I just was so excited to give it to him. He's like got a shopping cart, not a lot of stuff in it. A a moving blanket. I've seen him naked going to the bathroom on the street. You know, crazy homeless guy, and living there for weeks on that corner, Van Nuys and Ventura Boulevard. And I found him across the street at one block up on a corner where they had moved him to. Pulled my car over. He was passed out on the street in the middle of the day. I got this black pleather fake jacket, and I thought it didn't look that good on me, but I thought this is gonna look good on him. I laid the motorcycle style jacket down next to his sleeping body, and I just felt so good about myself. I was like, I I I'm like helping people who are less fortunate than me, and I drove home and I told my wife, and the next day I drive down there, he's gone, but the jacket is lying on the sidewalk. He didn't even interested in it. It was too cheap for him. He wouldn't accept the jacket. I just felt so like, I was like, that fucker, man. He just, I thought I was doing something cool, and then he just made me feel like a chump. True story. But yeah, there's so many, you know, I had no idea how, because I wasn't looking for that at the time. I was just looking at what are the new restaurants in my neighborhood? Where's the nail salon? That looks like a cool thrift store, like, but I didn't notice all the crazy homeless people in that little area. I don't know why they were there, but they're still there. And that was a bad experience for me. Since then, I've been taking Krav Maga, like,
Oh yeah.
which they would never have, they never, never would have had me confront and do shit, try to punch that guy, scare that guy and get him out. I would do everything differently now, if I could have that situation over again. I think I might have said that, but I've seen that guy a bunch of times. He's just one of a dozen crazy homeless people that cruise up and down that intersection.
Yeah. Well, and so then you got that. So you're getting your nails and your hand fingernails and your toenails done for your wedding for that. And that was then on the North Shore, you said?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My toes were black, purple, like a really beautiful indigo color. I'd never done that before, obviously, I was like, it's my first time. But it was disturbing to a lot of people. There's a lot of conservative people at my wedding. They're like, what's up with that? But then there were a couple artsy people who was like, yeah, cool, and the young kids, the children of the adults were like, doesn't even nothing phases them. They're like, yeah, cool. But it was fun for me, special occasion. It went with my suit.
And then
So the
starting to get
wedding pictures are astounding. We had the most idyllic, beautiful wedding on the North Shore of Oahu. My wife was looking at the pictures of it just an hour ago. We still got things we've got to blow up. I mean, it was stunning. The sun came out from below the clouds just as we were doing our vows. And we got everyone together on the beach really quickly and took a portrait. And it was just like a party, a fun surfer party,
yeah.
on the beach. It was just great. The food was great. The music. We had so much fun. It was a perfect wedding. Well, I've been to a bunch of weddings since then because I've been going to all these weddings with my wife, back east, the Dallas Country Club in Florida, just a big Jewish wedding. And nothing like ours was just we eloped. And it was like rich man, poor man. We had the poor man wedding. It was super fun party. And I've been to two rich man weddings recently, and they were beautiful too, in a church, but completely different.
Yeah. Way, way different. You're not, you probably had to wear closed-toed shoes to those
Oh,
other
yeah.
what?
Yeah, I had to go buy, I had to go buy dress shoes. And
Yeah.
so I own a pair of dress shoes now, and I actually really like them. I've become kind of a clothes horse. It's the stage I'm going through. Like, what do you think about this? Like, I bought, I'm wearing these jackets. I got a couple of ties. I got these beautiful brown leather pointy-toed dress shoes that I'm like, these are not. I look cool. Like, I got some cowboy boots and that I love. I'm just like totally going through a stage. Like, I was in the same stage when I was in college, where I was in, kind of fashionable, like not, it doesn't have to be trendy fashion, but just,
Yeah.
I'm into like, this is a cool outfit. I'm in drag, I'm going out in drag. Today I'm a cowboy. Tomorrow I might be a businessman, but I'm totally, or the next day I'll be a surfer or something, or some cool older, today I'm a cool older guy, but just going in drag all over LA. And it's really fun.
Where'd you find your cowboy boots?
I got him in Tombstone, Arizona when I did a convention there. I went to Tombstone, did a convention for the movie. It was a slight reunion. And I was like, I want to get something, reminiscent. I need a pair of cowboy boots because I don't own a pair anymore. And I went horseback riding the other day, before that, my friend was like, you don't own a pair of cowboy boots? He was just totally throwing shade my way. I'm like, nope. But I was riding English before, but this guy's all about Western, and I'm like, I will get a pair of cowboy boots so I can ride with you again. And when I was in Tombstone, man, walked down those wooden planks, to this country western store, saw a pair of boots I thought were cool looking, tried them on, they
Yeah.
fit, bought them like that. Like, it was just so fast. I thought I must have done something wrong. That was too easy. But since then, like, I wear them and I love them and they're cool. And since then, by the way, in LA, cowboy boots are suddenly all the rage. And I don't think it's because of me, but I'm always kind of like right on that cutting edge of what's cool in fashion in
So,
LA. I don't
saw
know.
John walking around with the cowboy boots. I was like, I
Yeah,
have to get
I
get a
gotta
pair
get some.
now.
He's just making that look good. Cowboy boots in LA, like on Sunset Boulevard, man. But he's making that look good, like they used to be hip and cool, like back in the '60s. I'm getting a pair. So you got guys
Yeah.
wearing, I'm now I got to go to the country western store and get a big belt buckle that big,
Ooh.
put it on my diesel pants with a leather belt. It looks super. And then tuck my shirt in with my cowboy boots. Fuck, bro.
Really show that off
So
and
good.
yeah.
Because I've lost a bunch of weight. I'll look like Harrison Ford, like walking around like his shirt tucked in and cowboy boots in LA. It's like, who the fuck does that guy think he is? That's the kind of thing I hear a lot. Who does
It's
that
a good thing to be.
guy think he is?
Always
I'm
like
John
hearing that.
Philbin, bitch.
Yeah.
Google me. Yeah, I'm having fun.
I love it.
How do you get a name like Rusty Diamond? That's not a fake name, right?
Uh,
It's okay.
when I got into wrestling,
Yes.
it became my wrestling name.
Right. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I told you this one. So when I started, I was very quiet, wanted to just like, eyes and ears open, be respectful and shit. And yeah, we got to there was a barbecue that had all the wrestlers together. It decided to get me drunk and then, get me to start talking some shit. And then I eventually just started going off and one of the guys was like, "Hey, fuck you, fucking Screech, fucking Dusty Diamond." And someone said, "Did you say Rusty Diamond?" And then they're like, "That's got to be your name." And then that's what happened. And so I got named after fucking Screech. But I was like, I'll embrace it. I'll go with it. And then it's been 13 years now.
That's
And
a good one. I love how
works.
people that stories of how people get their nicknames. That's great.
Yeah, it was it was an interesting time, but I I don't know. Who knew? I would have guessed had they wanted to have my real name, but yeah,
Oh man, Rusty Diamond's awesome, man. That's a great tag. You're lucky. You're lucky. That's a good one.
It worked out. There are some other ones though. I've tried to friend them, but they don't like that very much. I tried to I think I friend requested them all on social media and none of them accepted. So there's
Huh.
like 5 or 6 of them, and yeah, there was one that started out when I got it. You used to be able to uh, YouTube or Google it. It came up as this thing like this guy doing a thing, Rusty Diamond, the South African porn star, and then yeah, it was some weird like one-off video, and I was like, all right, well that okay, so I have to compete with that guy, and then I started getting people doing metal work. There's some tattoo artist, and I'm the other one, but um, yeah. So back back to Tombstone.
Oh, Tombstone.
So when you were there,
At the
you got
reunion
at the
or
so you
or
were
at the
there
movie?
at the reunion?
Yeah, you mean at the reunion in Tombstone or when we were
Yeah,
making the movie?
yeah, at the reunion there.
Oh,
So is that I mean, what is that like with doing the reunions and like doing the conventions and what have you? What's that like?
well, I will tell you, this is the first Tombstone reunion I've ever been to. The Western, there was one before this in Tombstone that I couldn't attend because I was doing something else or I wasn't sure it would be cool or whatever. And since then, I do horror conventions, regularly because of horror movies, and those are great. But I'll just talk about Tombstone first.
Sure.
So I heard about this. A friend of mine called me and
Oh,
said, "Hey, my friend lives in Tombstone. He wants to do a reunion. He wants you to come. Would you talk to him and do it?" And I went, "Yes," because I realized you could make money, and that's good for me to make some cash on a weekend. It's great. So I called them up. I said, "Yeah, I'd love to come. I would like two things. I would like you to invite and to get to come my guy who played my brother in the movie, Robert Burke, who played Frank McClowry. I played Tom McClowry. And I'd like you to invite and for this guy to come who's our friend, and his name is Wyatt Earp. His actual name is Wyatt Earp because he was our friend and we liked him. And I didn't know what he had going on. I haven't seen those two guys in 20 years.
yeah,
And I convinced
awesome.
Robert Burke to come, and I got Wyatt Earp to come, from my pushing that and exchange. And I got to hang out with Robert Burke, who's one of the coolest fucking fireman, gnarly hero dude, actor, super overtrained New York actor, can do anything, classically trained. He and Val used to do dueling Shakespeare soliloquies, on the set. But and then Wyatt Earp's just the sweetest guy. He taught me a little bit about cowboy boots. He's a real cowboy. His name's Wyatt Earp. He's an actor too. But he lived out in LA for a long time, and I didn't never saw him. I never saw these guys. So I got to hang out with those guys. Billy Zane is across from me. I'm staying in Wyatt Earp's house from Tombstone from 1893 or something. That's a bed and breakfast now. Man,
Yeah.
everybody in that town's walking around with loaded guns because it's Arizona. And if they aren't loaded, they're like 6-shooter cowboy guns with blanks in them because they're faking shootouts, on the street. It's a country western town. And talk about drag. Everybody's in drag. The women are dressed like they work in a brothel, and the men are dressed like sheriffs or outlaws. They've got guns, 6-shooters on their hips, mustaches. They're wearing
Wow.
spurs, walking up and down the street. I'm like, it's like Westworld. I
Yeah.
I mean, Tombstone, Arizona is such a great town to visit. It blew my mind. There's all these tourists there too, but it's just like there's a really good coffee shop there. But there's some places that they're from the 1890s. They're haunted. They've got history. The OK Corral is there. It's just blew my mind how nice, how fun it was to be around my cast members and to meet all these people, sign autographs. Their love for the movie blew my, uh, the Western people, they love it so much. I'm not that guy, I just played one in a movie and I got lucky. The movie was a huge hit and it's a culty movie. So there's just something magic about it, to meet up, for it to come full circle 30 years later and to meet the people that love it so much and to see my castmates, you know, yeah, Billy Zane, Michael Bain was there. God, it was amazing. Dana Wheeler Nicholson, like all these beautiful actresses that they've all grown up, but they were, super, everyone was young and it was, just great. Some of those, I don't know, it was special and I made money. So yeah, I would do it again. It wasn't like a horror convention. It was a Western convention, but it was still, people are still walking around in costume, you know, but
Yeah.
they love the West, the old West, it's like, it's not like some fantasy sci-fi costumes or horror movie costumes. They're dressed like the guys in the Westerns are dressed. And it's like, all right, you're pulling that off, bro. That mustache real? Yeah, it's real. That gun's real. Yeah, it's loaded. Careful.
Gotcha.
It was crazy. So I got a pair of boots from that and I love them. I'll
And
always cherish them.
so, did you have time to hang out with your old castmates, or I mean,
Yeah, I
was
got to
it
have,
like
I'm sitting next
same
to
for them?
Robert Burke, and then I got to go out to dinner with Wyatt Earp, and we all did, we all spent a lot of time together. Actually, I was only there for 2.5 days, but Michael Bain was really cool. Billy Zane was really cool. He just got a great job playing Marlon Brando. Um,
Oh,
Lisa Collins lives in Australia, but she was there and super sweet and nice. And Dana Wheeler Nicholson, is so sweet and nice and smart. These are just really, it turned out to be really smart, interesting people. I love talking to them. I love seeing them. But Robert Burke, who played my brother, is one of the most. I cherish this guy. We made a connection on this movie, and we've always had it, and we keep in touch. But God, since then he's got a son. It's become like almost a pro surfer, like a brilliant surfer, and he's become a fire chief captain of Fire Island. Like he's just a heroic kind of guy, and he looks great. And he's fucking, Robert Burke is such a. He gave me a watch too. I kept telling him how much I liked his watch, and one of these days, and one of he goes, yeah. I go, I don't. He goes, it's a thing. I don't. I've got 10 of them here. Take it. I didn't. I was looking for a watch at the time. I just lost mine. I probably pressured him into giving it to me, but he gave it to me. It's great. It's in the shop right now. I'm getting a new band put on it, but it has sentimental value, just like the boots.
yeah. Is that a like wristwatch, not a pocket watch to
Yeah,
go
no,
with?
it's a wristwatch,
Okay.
not a pocket watch.
And so last time, then also speaking of that, so you said you were having the actor's dream of
Actor's nightmare.
the actor's nightmare, not the actor's dream, the opposite. Yeah.
It is
Um,
the actor's dream. It's like the actor's dream is the actor's nightmare. It's when you go on stage, you don't know your lines, like you're getting ready to go on production. Clock is ticking. You got to go on, but you don't know your lines. Yes, I have that recurring. It's an anxiety dream. I have that recurring dream in my life. Yeah, I'm not ready
is,
for this scene. How am I gonna? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna fake this? It's so scary.
has that ever happened?
No,
No.
in real life, no.
Yeah.
No,
So,
not yet. I mean, I
not,
don't. I think it's just one of those, anxiety. It's like when you're younger kids. People used to have. I've had them too. You go to school and you're not wearing any pants.
yeah.
Same thing. It's the same psychological thing. Like, oh, anxiety. Fear that you're not prepared for life. For some event that you should have trained for. Yeah. If I get a job, I fucking study I mean, I can't do enough training and studying for it so that I never have that moment in real life. But in dreams, it just comes. It's a recurring nightmare for a lot of actors, I think. But yeah, I'm proud to be an actor that can have the actor's nightmare. I've done enough acting so that I know what it's like to go on stage and to go on a movie set. And in my dreams, I know what it's like to not be prepared, and I never want to experience that in real life.
So this was something I had this weird random thing. So I forgot what they call it, but like if you have like a little earpiece in and you just like how like feeding the lines, like if you have something in that's like if I had myself and I was like, oh hey, my name is Rusty, and then it would then I'd say it out loud, and then it'd be like, oh, this is my next line, and then I'd say it. Is that something that like? Cause I thought about doing that. I had an audition, and I'm terrible at like, is this very frowned upon, or like, because I mean, now I feel like you can get a pretty small one. I've even looked
I mean,
into
you
it,
have to
like,
have an assist, like Marlon Brando used to do that, like, and you probably read the story about Marlon Brando doing that. Like the best actor in the world, he would just like his assistant, this lady, would sit in the trail off thing and read his line to him, go into his ear, and he would hear it, and then he would say it. You know, greatest
okay,
actor of all time. I'm sure he didn't used to do that when he had to do, Streetcar Named Desire on the stage, but that's what he came to do in movies. He found that worked fine for him. I would absolutely love to do that if I could find that technique and put an ear thing in and just have someone read my lines and I could just say them. Someone would have to have to have a hook up to the set, and like to hear what's going on.
right,
But
yeah, be close enough.
that would fucking be great because you wouldn't have that anxiety of not remembering your lines. That hasn't really happened to me yet, but I haven't done a lot of work since I've been older. I just did a movie that just dropped. It came out on YouTube. It's called Ghostbabe, and I never forgot my lines in that movie. There was one line I couldn't remember. I had a small part though. I'd look at these guys who had long scenes, and I'm like, how the fuck? I don't know if I could ever do that again. But anyway, I just had these small parts. It's really kind of funny. Not, it's just I'm way over the top. It's a way over the top comedy thing about surfers, dumb surfers, and ghosts. And I play a realtor who's a mafioso realtor, who tries to infiltrate into the surfer gang. He doesn't even try very hard, but he wants to kill him, but he ends up getting killed. In most movies, I get killed, but in this movie, I get killed twice.
Whoa.
Yeah, I realized that when I watched it, I went, whoa, I've been killed twice in this movie. I mean,
I,
I've really graduated up. I've next leveled. I've leveled up.
and
Killed twice.
I mean, with everything, like even last night, going to sleep, flipping through the channels, Point Break turns on, and I mean, it's the part when, like at the end, when they're up about to go, and yeah, and I'm like, oh, nope, just missed it, and
Ah,
so I mean, like you and Sean Bean, always, seem to have those death scenes in your movies, and so
thank you. Very nice,
yeah,
Confess. Wonderful.
it,
I'm
I
honored.
mean,
Flattered.
what it's not often someone gets to die in so many movies. It's kind of an
I've got it.
interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing for me. Started on my first one, Children of the Corn, and then I've gone through my career. Now I just made another movie, just came out. It's called Ghost Babe. I died twice in it. And Point Break's on TV, shot by Gary Busey at the airport, the masochist. And I know I've said this before, but that is my surfer actor claim to fame because I played Turtle, famous iconic character in the surf industry, Turtle. And then I did this movie Point Break, and in Point Break, Gary Busey kills me, but he played the masochist in the best surf movie ever made, in my opinion, Big Wednesday. My favorite movie is Big Wednesday. He played the masochist. He'll always be the masochist. I'll always be Turtle to a lot of surfers. The masochist shoots Turtle in Point Break, and there you have the triumph for the three greatest Hollywood surf movies ever made. And we're both in them, and then we come together in Point Break. It's deep. It's meta. That's a meta.
Is that something that gets brought up? Is that one of those? Is there
I'm the only
some?
one.
So there's no thread on the internet, or if
It's
there's a
too
thread on the
meta.
internet, it's by John.
It's too
Uh,
meta for the kids. It's too meta. We should put, I should put it out there. Here's something meta for the kids.
I
Turtle
think
was
so.
shot by the masochist in Point Break. I mean, God, that's so meta and so cool. Obviously, I just learned a new word,
Yeah.
what it means.
Uh,
You're
um,
probably young enough to know what meta means.
Meta.
Yeah,
Uh, it's too meta for me. I don't even know.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, I'll clip that out later. We'll get that where it needs to be. The part about the thing, getting them all together. And so, is Gary Busey is like, are you gonna find him again sometime in the future and have some maybe get to find a way to die
I
30
did.
times?
I did. I found a way to work with Gary Busey again in the future. I'm not going to do it again, but I
Okay.
did it, and he was out of control. I had a really good friend, Angelo May, who just had a baby. God bless you, Angelo. He did a documentary about teenage surfers at Huntington Beach High and San Clemente High competing against each other for the California State, championship of high school surfers. A lot of these kids went on to be pro surfers, and they had a really serious surf team with coaches and contests, and there's a rivalry. It's like Friday Night Lights. But he had done like a bunch of TV reality shows, and it was kind of like MTV Cribs, and he got really into these kids' lives. It took him 2 years to film it. The movie's called Chasing the Dream. It didn't get a good release or distribution. I mean, oh, it's such a good movie. It should be showed in every school, every high school. But he wanted Gary Busey to narrate it because Gary Busey was the masochist and he was in Point Break. And he goes, John, do you think you could get Gary Busey to narrate my movie, Chasing the Dream? And I said, I'll do it for a producer credit. He's like, well, you're not going to do anything on the, I go, oh, I'm not, I'm just saying that I can get you Gary Busey to narrate your movie if you give me a producer credit, like separate
Yeah.
card produced by John Philbin. Like, I don't care how many other producers there are, but I want to be one of them, you know. He's like, God, that seems, that just doesn't seem fair and everything for what producers really do. I go, yeah, I don't care. Because
Oh,
before that, he asked me if I would give him a surf lesson and narrate learn to surf with Andy Irons. And I did it. I gave him a surf lesson and I narrated it for him. I did the narration and I didn't get
yeah.
any credit for it. I got this little tiny, like nothing, not surf lesson by John, nothing up front, nothing in big. I was like, I got burned. And that's a typical Hollywood thing. I call it the Hollywood kiss. They just get you to do a bunch of shit for them, then for nothing. And I said, that's never going to happen to me again. And I said, yeah, I'll get you what you want, your A-list association with this little surf movie. I'll get you an international star to narrate it for a producer credit. And he gave it to me. So that movie, and then the movie didn't I mean, we had a screening. There were Academy Award winners who came to that screening, but the guy that produced it, he didn't know how to capitalize or monetize the fame I brought to it, like the Hollywood level. He was kind of stuck in this surfing world. He's still holding on to it somewhere down in Australia. It's called Chasing the Dream, and it's great. And Gary Busey is the narrator, and I am one of the producers. I did get burned after that by Helen Hunt when we did this movie Ride, and I helped her. I worked on it with her a lot. She based this one character that Luke Wilson plays on me. He gives my lesson, and I'm like, I never got paid one dime, but I did say like, yeah, I want an associate producer credit, and it was hard to get. And I said, I just got a Hollywood kiss from a friend of mine. I just got burned. It's like they don't even feel like they're doing anything wrong. It's just a Hollywood way of doing business. Like this is a privilege for you, like this is a glamour job. You want to be a part of this, right? That's the attitude. You're lucky to get this job, like, well, I'd like to get paid and a big credit too. And like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
I've had enough experience with that to know what that's all about. Oh, bitter. Bitter much?
Exposure. exposure. You get exposure. Um, yeah,
Little do they know I'd come back and talk about them on the podcast. Like they'll take that. Take that.
that's right. Um, so then, well, do you ever go out with someone when you're out training and teaching, or just by yourself? Do you ever go out with someone who has a camera with you, or do you have like a camera crew? Or is that something that would be too weird? Because like I have this thing where I like watching people sometimes do vlogs and stuff, but then if I saw someone filming a vlog or whatever, I'd be like, what are they doing? Why, like, who's this fucking, who the fuck do they think they are? And, but then I'm like, I like watching it, but so I don't know. I don't know where I am with that one, but is that something you ever do? Do you ever go out with someone, have them
I have
filming
done
you?
it in the past for some, there have been some reasons. Oh, this person's going to film this surf lesson, for the client or something. But I've never arranged. I've never owned the content and said, "Hey, I'm going to film this surf. Do you mind, client? My friend is going to film this lesson, and
Yeah,
I'll own the content. You write you have to give me your consent that I can use it." And it's kind of dumb. I should have, content's king, as my wife would say, and I've never done it for myself. Now I'm getting a little old in the tooth, but maybe I will this next summer. You
once
think
it
I've
gets
missed
warm
the boat
again.
on that? Maybe I've missed the boat on that, but I'd have to hire someone who wants to film me giving a lesson. I've never done it. No,
Yeah, get
I
some,
like watching shit like that too, though.
yeah, you get some USC film students to,
Yeah,
get,
yeah,
them,
not pay him to give him a Hollywood kiss.
give him
You
the Hollywood
full
kiss, give
circle.
it right back, man.
Softball that. We'll give him a Hollywood kiss. Yeah, you can film me. I'm a famous actor, and I'm going to give a surf lesson. You can, you'll learn a little bit about filmmaking, and you give me the content. A Hollywood kiss. I went to
Oh,
USC too.
yeah,
Yeah, fight on,
good,
Trojans. A
yeah.
Hollywood kiss. Mwah.
Uh, and I would, I mean, yeah, some of those, I think it would be an interesting experience, or then, but I don't know, is that something like that, or, I don't
It's
know,
I
would you go
I,
back
sh-
to,
I should say, other people have done it with me, like MTV did it. It's a pretty funny story. I'll tell it to you. Like people have filmed me giving celebrities surf lessons, and
okay,
they have been even put out there. And the best one, I just say, yeah, you can, and here I'll sign it, but I don't keep the content. But the best one was with this when MTV was interested in surfing. Now Chanel's really interested in surfing, but MTV was doing some surf stuff, and they couldn't get a surf instructor for this reality show they were doing. Not a reality, this reality prank they were going to do. And they
uh,
had this kid. His name is not a kid anymore, but at the time, his name's Noah Johnson, and he had just won the Eddie, the biggest surf contest in the world, and he had won. And so he had a little heat, and MTV said, "Hey, let's have Noah Johnson come to LA because he's not even famous. He's not even on the world tour, but he won the Eddie. Let's have him get a surf lesson from some idiot." And it'll turn out, the guy will be giving him a surf lesson because he doesn't know who he is, and he'll find out, oh, this guy's Noah, just won the Eddie. We'll make fun of that, and that'll be funny. And this little surf shop's not even there anymore. Called me up, said, "Hey, can you come down and do a surf lesson? We can't get anyone to do it." And I'm like, this is what I charge. It's $150, $200. Yeah, okay, great. I go down there at the surf shop. I meet like at the time people were like, I don't think people should be teaching surfing. Like it was new. I was new to it. I had just gotten into it. I was doing private lessons in Malibu. I was like, I had a goatee. I was wearing a hat and glasses on. I go down there. I'm just scruffy, and I'm teaching surfing, and it's what I do, and it's hard, and there's not a lot of people doing it. I'm like one of, they two guys turned it down or something apparently. I'm down there. I see this crew. What's going on? Yeah, we'd like to film you giving him a surf lesson. This guy, yeah, I meet him, and I'm like, hey, I don't know who he was. Noah, I'm John. He goes, hey, John. He looks at me. He's got a funny look in his, he gives me that, he's got a funny look in his eyes. And I'm like, after they leave, I go, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I go to him, I go, hey, you look like a surfer. You know how to surf, right? He goes, yeah, you look like Turtle. I'm like, yeah. He goes, I won't say anything if you don't say anything. And I'm like, okay, let's just, we'll conspire. We'll do this. I'll play along. He goes, okay, I'll play along with you because fucking love you, dude. Like, because he's from Hawaii. He's from the North Shore of Oahu.
Oh
And it's
shit.
like, what Turtle's going to give me a surf lesson? I'm like, I'm going to give a surf lesson to the guy that won the Eddie. We're both, fanning over each other. He's probably not fanning over me, but I love Hawaiian surfers. This guy's such a, and he went on anyway, we shoot it. And I'm like, this is going to be really hard. It's going to be harder than anything you've ever done. He's like, okay. We go out there. I'm swimming around, breaking my ass. And he's like, pretends to suck at first. And then he stands up and does. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm getting punked, man. Like we play it off. And
Yeah.
on the way back, the producers are like, I don't get, like, who is this guy? Why? Nobody knew who I was. Like, Turtle, North Shore wasn't as super famous back then. Like, it's become, back then it went through a little dip, and then now it's like in the surf business, it's expanded its scope. Now it's super super
Cool.
famous. Like, can I say that? Like, I'm
I
really
think that's cool.
super famous now, bro. No,
Yeah.
I mean, but back then it's just surfers who knew me. Hawaiian surfers who knew me because I worked in their backyard and made a movie about their backyard. Since then, I've gone over to Hawaii and seen Noah as a lifeguard and a stuntman on 3 different productions. He's been my stunt coordinator on 2 movies I've done. And
Oh shit.
I remember he taught me so much. I love this guy because he was nice to me that day. And, he wasn't making fun of me for being a surf instructor, a loser surf instructor, giving a lesson to a pro surfer. Ha ha ha. That's just so original, man. What a sophisticated joke that, MTV, they're just so smart, their humor. But anyway, he didn't lowball that thing. And I just went along with it and since then I remember, he had broken his, he's in Blue Crush. He plays the girl I trained, Kate Bosworth, to surf in Blue Crush. He plays her in a scene at Big Pipeline. He had to put a blonde wig on and put Speedos on, like a girl's bathing suit, and get towed into a massive pipeline because, they couldn't get a girl to do it, but they got Noah to do it because, and he did it. He's fucking gnarly because it was so embarrassing, man. But, it was fucking great to get those waves. But God, everyone's making fun of me. And that's just how it is over there, but it's a great job if you get it. But anyway, I've been working with him when he had broken his knee, and it was after Blue Crush, and he was taking these actors out to this spot, Cammyland across from Sunset, and he was going to be on a bodyboard or something because he couldn't stand up. And I was sitting on the beach kind of pouting. It didn't look that good to me. And I'm sitting there thinking I'm kind of too cool for school. And he's taking these guys out. Are you going out, Noah? And he's like, yeah, I'm taking so-and-so out and so-and-so. Now that was a hint to me to get my ass up, get aboard, and go help these lame actors surf out at this spot because he was going to do it and he's injured. I said, no, I'm not going to go out. It doesn't look that good to me. It doesn't look that good to me. And he turns to me and he goes, you think it looks good to me? And I was like, my head was so far up my ass. I didn't understand what was happening, that he was about to go be of service to these stupid Hollywood actors, because he's Hawaiian and he's got a job and he's giving them aloha and he's helping them in the ocean where he lives in his job, basically. And I had an opportunity to help him, and I was like, it doesn't look that good to me, as if it's about me. And it's not. And I learned from him and from Brian Kealana and from a bunch of these guys. You see these, like I was a Hollywood actor. I came over, I didn't know shit. And a bunch of Hawaiians helped me fit in, get waves, feel comfortable, rescue me when I was in over my head. And I had to learn they're giving aloha spirit, and he's one of them. I'll do anything for Noah if he ever asks me. If he goes, yeah, John, would you mind carrying that crate of water, down there to that tent? Yes, please. I would love to. Thank you. I've been on the beach, like, in Makaha, and see these, like, fucking some chick in a bikini and a cowboy hat smoking a cigarette, and some, you know, effeminate actor, with a fancy haircut, smoking a cigarette on the beach. And I look over and go, fuck, look at those fucking losers. Those are like Hollywood actors, like here at Makaha. And I see Brian Kalana run over and, like, the best waterman in the world, saved more lives than anyone in the world. He's pulling up this tent thing. I go, he's going to go make a tent and carry it over to those fucking assholes because he's in the hot sun and they're just laughing like they couldn't care. And I run over to the tent. Brian, can I help you? And he goes, yeah, John. Put these tent things out. Do you take that side and that side? Yeah, John. We're going to walk it right over there and put it right over those people. I'm like, oh, I knew it. I knew it, because I was those people at one time. And now I'm just trying to make up for it in my life. I'm just trying to have better perspective in my life when I see, I was a self-absorbed, narcissistic, entitled Hollywood actor when I was younger, and these guys are working their asses off in the ocean trying to help me feel comfortable and safe. And now they're doing it for someone else. It's that other person's turn, like they got a job where they get to go in the ocean. They're the luckiest people in the world, and they don't even know it. And we're just walking this tent over and putting it over them so the sun doesn't hit their skin, so they could smoke, without getting a sunburn. There's no one smoking on that beach. You might notice, like all these lifeguards and watermen and, professional surfers, like they're just bending over backwards to try to make these clueless idiots feel comfortable and safe, and I love the Hawaiian watermen and the Hawaiian stuntmen, and I got lucky that I got to work with them. And now if I can ever help them, if I ever see them and there's anything I can do, I'm honored to do it. But Noah Johnson, yeah, it all started there with me giving him a surf lesson for MTV. MTV didn't know I was an actor, had ever been an actor. I'm just a loser surf instructor, but Noah did. Because I went through a stage where I really wasn't. I was just a surf instructor. And none of the movies I did, had become cult classics yet. Like Point Break, North Shore, they hadn't Tombstone, they hadn't become, because it takes 10 years at least for a movie to become a cult, have a cult following. And scene, unless it's Showgirls, instant cult classic. I don't know how it did it, but it did it.
I don't either. That was those late nights on Showtime.
Showtime.
Checking those out, being however old I was, a teenager, and Saved by the Bell fan, so it worked out. But then, so would Hawaii? I mean, would there be a, like, how do you convince them now to, if you're saying North Shore is getting a resurgence, like how do you convince them to be like, hey, let's bring all my friends back out over to the North Shore and do some sort of reunion, or would that be too much, or is that like,
the surf,
your friends
I wouldn't do
now?
it because, we have to, like, the whole point of doing those things is, to make money, selling autographs and stuff. And the surf community, I don't want to charge money for an autograph from them, like
Cool.
we did a reunion. There's a girl, Cindy, who owns a website, who created a website called Listen to Turtle. And it's based on my character from North Shore, but it's got everybody. It's a North Shore film fan club, like, and they sell hats and belt buckles and all these things from the movie, masks, and they use us all. She asked me, really it uses my face for the logo. She asked me for my blessing. I was like, yeah, I'll allow it. I'll let you do this. I'll support it and everything. But you have to make it not about me. You have to make it about Laird and Jerry Lopez and Matt Adler and Nia Peoples. And Gregory Harrison. We all have to be equally, a part of this, this website, this business. It's a business, really, this fan-based business. And she said, yeah, absolutely. And so I love this company, Listen to Turtle, and it's fucking blows my mind. She organized a screening of the 25-year screening, and she got me, Nia, Randall, the director, the producer, Matt Adler. We all got together in Santa Barbara and we sold out the Arlington Theater. They closed off the streets. It was like a huge party for these 3 generations of surfers that have watched this movie, and it's become a part of their lives. And we didn't charge. Like we just went to appreciate them because they were appreciating us. We just went and felt the love. People love that movie, and it's for some reason, the surfing has never done these kind of like convention. We just do it for love. Surfers are poor, like they're not collectors. Those athletes like Kelly Slater, John Florence, their brand companies make them sign autographs for free. Like these guys are pro surfers. They sit down and sign autographs for free, like during contests when they get an hour off because their brand makes them do it, like, but the only reason I do conventions and stuff like that, is so I can charge $40 for a signed 8x10 from the movie. But North Shore, I do those when I go to horror movies and stuff. Some people come and they just want North Shore stuff, and I don't have a lot of it. But that's different. But just for a screening of North Shore, we've never charged. And I've been to we've had 5 or 6 of them, sold out theaters where the cast gets together, and it's really nobody charges, nobody sits down and signs at a table. We just do it for the love because we love that movie and for the people that love it.
Well, yeah. Hey,
We're leaving a lot of money on the table, man.
yeah.
A lot of money on the table.
We can go 6, 7 hours here, man. So then, what are you doing then? More acting, like more auditions? Because you were saying
Yes,
last
Brett, I'm
time
glad you asked. Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Yeah, since I saw you last time, I got asked to do a part in this movie called People Pleaser. This guy named Andy Capper, who's a really brilliant writer director, and he's put together this guy Nick James and me and this really talented woman Maddie, and he put together the script, and we helped him. We read it over a bunch of times, and he asked me if I'd play this part, and I read it, and I was like, I would fucking die to play this part. I read this script, and there's a scene where my character is in a speedos lifting weights, in front of a mirror, and he talks about having a perfect body. And I go, hey, Andy, I don't look like, I'm in my 20s and, like Point Break. I'm fat, I'm short, fat old man. He goes, oh, don't worry about it, and I'm like, don't worry about it. So I immediately started intermittent fasting and I got a trainer. So I have lost 20 pounds.
Oh.
I'm in the fucking gym every day. I got Botox. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay. Yeah.
I
How
look
was
younger
that?
than I did 10 years ago. And my body's in fucking great shape for an old man. I am camera ready. The strike's over. I am totally camera ready. But he's got to secure a little more financing and stuff. But it is a great part. It's called People Pleaser. Fucking awesome horror movie about rehab in Malibu. It's so original. It's so great. A horror movie about rehab in Malibu. I just like he just likes all these, these crazy like Suspiria, these horror movies, Rosemary's Baby, like really, really good ones. And it's really kind of creepy and good. I like it. And so, yeah, that's what I'm working on now, but we're not shooting it yet. That's why I got bugged.
Getting ready for that spot.
You tell I'm ready, bro. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm an actor now.
So did
Pretty
you?
excited. I want to do horror movies. That's all I want to do in westerns and surf movies. That's it. That's all I want to do. Those 3.
That sounds pretty all right. That's a good way to make it what you want to do. And so I mean, so then if you're doing the horror one, then I mean, so the western one. I mean, are there other Western stories, or did you grow up with like Western stories and stuff, or was that anything
Yeah, I
that
mean,
you
I
were
was a little.
interested in as a kid, or
I'm 63, so like, yeah, we watch TV movies on TV that are westerns, westerns and horror movies and war movies. So when we'd go outside, we'd all practice shooting and getting shot. Like it's by the time Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid came out, I was like, that's the best movie I've ever seen. That is the best movie I have ever seen. And it was probably my favorite movie, and I bet it holds up now. It's probably I think I saw it 10 times in the theater.
holy
So
shit.
yeah, I love westerns, good westerns. I haven't followed all these westerns that are on, streaming services. I haven't gotten too into them, but when a good western movie feature film comes out, I'm there.
Yeah, trying to find a way to get shot.
Yeah, or shoot some. Yeah, I would like to successfully survive a couple of gunfights instead of just I'm going, gunfight, I'm gonna die. I would like to
Yeah,
successfully survive a gunfight before I hang up my spurs. I was shot off a horse in Young Riders. I was shot at the OK Corral in Tombstone. I would just like to successfully survive one gunfight before I hang up my spurs. That's a good sentence.
I hope you get to keep your spurs this time too. If you have your cowboy boots to be able to
No,
put
I
the
didn't get to
spurs
keep
on those.
anything. I didn't, but I did talk to
But
Robert Burke, who said like he was hanging out with Kurt Russell on the last day of shooting. It was raining. The
yeah,
film wrapped, the movie wrapped, like everybody was scrambling to do their own thing. And he was in this big trailer with Kurt, and Kurt was going through some stuff. He goes, "What are you doing?" And Kurt goes, "I'm stealing stuff." Because he's so experienced. He knows this shit's really valuable. And the
yeah,
movie's over. He's taking memorabilia from Tombstone. He's brilliant. Like he's been in 1,000 movies. So it's the last day. It's wrapped. There's no one around. He's filling bags up with shit. And Robert's like, whoa. He didn't really have the experience to jump in on that. To get in on that. So he doesn't have any shit either. No, I don't have any. I don't have anything. I don't have my hat or my spurs or my chaps, or my vest. I don't have anything. I just turned it all in and like a dumb, naive guy. Here you go, wardrobe. That was fun. I'll see you guys back in LA. Kurt's like, I'm just stealing shit, man. Taking shit. Good
coming
man.
back. Like,
He's
yeah,
experienced.
yeah. You see that clock on the wall right there on minute 32. Yep, right there. It's in my living room right now. Yeah, it's just like yeah. There's been I mean, because most of that stuff gets just thrown out like
Warehouse.
in or warehouse. Yeah, like
Stored in a warehouse. You never see it again.
yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, they were filming a whole bunch of shit in Portland, and like a lot of that shit just was just gone. Like they were filming Grimm, and it was like a 24-hour like soundstage thing going on. But that shit just they were just like throw everything in the dumpster after it was done, and
Oh.
like I was just like, well, I should probably. I mean, I was working security on that, and then I'm like, well, I probably shouldn't do that, but like I feel like someone's gonna want that down the line, and
It was the
but
right thing to do.
yeah, I didn't take it. So
You
I
didn't?
no, I didn't take anything. I
Oh,
I
bro.
yeah,
Now that I've told you
I
my
messed
Kurt
up.
Russell story, you gotta
Yeah,
you gotta realize if it's good enough for Kurt Russell,
yeah. Well, this
good
was
enough for us. Next time you get a chance.
yeah 10 years ago. I'm learning now. Now I can figure it
Yeah,
out.
I'm a slow learner too.
Yeah, gotta learn things the hard way sometimes, a lot
Yeah.
of the times, but we'll get there. And yeah, so next time there's something going on, I'll make sure I grab something and yeah, maybe
Hang on to it.
hold
Yeah.
on to it, send it off somewhere.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there was just so much. I just yeah, see in the dumpster. It's like, well, crap. Even I remember I was at WrestleMania, and there was some backstage thing going on, and there was like a plant that got like used somehow, and I was like, I tried grabbing it, and one of the security people like grabbed me and like, you can't take that stuff. I'm like, well, shit, like, well, I would have had to carry it around and then take it, take this like plant that, how would you ever, prove that it was from this and take it back to the airport in Houston and fly to Portland with, some like plant this
Uh,
big and
that'd be
so
awkward.
yeah, but
Yeah,
now
well, stealing's it's an awkward thing, but it's worth it if you can do it. And I'm committed to it next time. You and I are both committed to that.
yeah,
See an opportunity like that to go through the awkward stage of I've got this thing, you don't, stay away from me. I'm taking it. I'm gonna get safe, get somewhere safe,
yeah. And
and we'll
if
see
you
what
want it somewhere down the road, if you hit me up and you say I want it back, I'll let you see it and touch it or something maybe once, but I'm
happens.
holding on to it. You go, oh, I do have that still. And
So, what's
yeah.
that new wrestling movie coming out? Like a really cool looking
Oh,
feature.
the about the Von Erichs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good to you?
It looks pretty good. It
Looks
should
really
be,
good to me.
yeah. I don't know. It kind of like came out of nowhere, and I was talking uh with my buddy. He's do like yeah. He was telling me he was doing. He's a fucking one of the guys in it, and playing Terry Bam Bam Gordy, which is gonna be kind of cool. Like, but yeah, it's just fucking weird that like 'cause that's a horrible story. Like the whole story of that one. I guess not spoiler, I guess, but I guess kind of. I mean, yeah, like four or five brothers, and all them die in their 20s, 30s, and then um, yeah, all them dad owned like the West Texas wet wrestling territory, and yeah, and then just yeah, one left now, and so it was. I don't know. It'll be an interesting movie, but it's cool that they're getting something with that, and it's going to be something that's different than the wrestler, I guess. With that one was because there was a time it wasn't in the best light around that time with that, and then like with that movie coming out, and then like a year or two before that with the Chris Benoit stuff, and like dude, there was a pretty bad thing with wrestling at that time, and so yeah, we'll see what happens now, but it'd be cool to get to see that and see something that's like more of a, I guess, yeah, more of a seeing it in the theater too is going to be
Oh, it's gonna
weird.
glamorize the whole shit out of it. Yeah, it'll be cool. It
Yeah,
looks like great actors, well shot. You're like, whoa, this is cool. Oh, this is funny. I mean, people are gonna be into it.
yeah, and maybe it'll give a resurgence, and maybe more
Yeah,
people
it's
start coming to
legit.
shows, and um,
Yeah,
yeah, like a whole bunch of uh, like when that the Glow show came out, and
yeah,
they did the redo of that. There were so many new like women wrestlers who came out who were like, I watched the show, like I want to do this now, and so it was
yeah,
kind of cool to get to see that, see some
yeah. It's cool.
new people come in, but yeah, and then yeah, it's just been a weird occurrence with all that, and just I hope it does well, and I hope that yeah, it puts things in a better light, but if it the story's already there. It's not like the story's changing. I doubt they're gonna do anything too different, but yeah. So uh back to surfing. So you going out surfing like how often right now? Are
Oh well,
now that it's cold?
yeah. No, I gave a couple of lessons last month. I mean, during this month, a couple, and it'll get less, and it might get less in December. We'll see. It all depends. My clients are just I have a few clients that surf year round, and we'll see what their schedule's like, which is, I surf when the surf's good. It doesn't matter what the temperature is. They put a man on the moon, like I've got a wetsuit that keeps me warm no matter what. In LA, it never gets that cold down here, so I put students in full wetsuits too. So, nobody has to get too cold down here in LA. But yeah, I surf. And when the surf's good, I go surfing. I went surfing a couple days ago. Surf got good. Doesn't get good that often around here, and it was so much fun. I don't do it as much because I live out in Sherman Oaks, and I don't, it's an hour to the beach, so it's got to be good. I don't just go for some because I don't have anything else to do. I have to, I have shit to do now, so I only go surfing when it's good, and it's really been fun. Not as much, but I enjoy it more, I think, because it's more of a special occasion.
Did you go when you were in Florida?
No, no time for the surf was flat in Florida when I was there, even though last week it was as good as it gets anywhere in the world. Florida gets as
Well,
good anywhere on the planet last week. But when I was there, it was perfectly flat, like a lake. And I was visiting a lot of relatives and friends and my new family, my new friends.
yeah.
I had a
And
great time in South Miami, Del Rey. We had so much fun.
oh,
Great
dang, okay.
food, great beaches, great time with my wife. It was really great little trip. The
You ever
hotel.
hang out down there before?
Yeah, I did a movie down there called The Crew with Viggo Mortensen, and we hung out in South Miami. Like I hung out at the News Cafe. This is before it became a model or popular place. Like this was in the '80s. So we went over to Bimini to film this movie, and we filmed some of it in South Florida, and it was bitching. And so yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So then are you getting to surf like you going anywhere? You going off
I'm not
you
going
got some you
anywhere.
got some
I've done all my traveling until next summer. Next summer, I'll go to Indonesia with my wife for a honeymoon. We'll go to Bali and I'll stay there for a while. And, I'll take her around. We'll do whatever she wants to do. And then she'll come back. She has to go to work and I'll take some time to do what I like to do, which is surf really good waves for a while, like I used to.
does
I
she
didn't
go
get,
out with you? Oh, sorry.
no, no, she doesn't surf. She doesn't. She might take a surf lesson this spring, this holiday vacation. It'll be her first one
From you?
from anyone ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. She married a surf instructor. She's never taken a lesson, but I think she's starting to get really close. She might do it this holiday, this Thanksgiving. We'll see.
Like tomorrow?
No, we got pretty big day planned for tomorrow, but she's got 4 or 5 days off work, so we'll see what
Oh,
happens.
okay. Uh what about your cat? How's your cat doing?
My two cats are great.
Two cats.
They're both probably in bed with her right now. There's a little kitten who's just a killer, a hunter killer. And then there's an old queen who's like, she's smart and she's been around and she's strong and she doesn't waste any energy and she's a bird. She can catch birds. The other one just kills lizards, tortures them for a while. Fuck, she's just a killer, killer instincts. Not even a year old. We let her out in the backyard to just torture lizards. And I love lizards too. It's kind of sad, but I love this cat and that's its nature. And I eat
Being
meat.
a
I'm not
presence.
vegan. If I was a total vegan, I wouldn't let her out there. Because
Yeah.
she's just gonna try to kill whatever she can find.
Did you say you are a vegan?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not a vegan.
I'm
Okay.
not a vegan. If I was a vegan,
Oh,
I'd be like, hey, sorry, you can't do that. Like these animals are trying to survive, and you're not even gonna eat them.
yeah.
You're just gonna kill them. First, you're gonna torture them. Then you're
Like
gonna,
yeah,
yeah,
like
she's a
like a
fucking
bit.
killer. But she's doing great. She's growing. She's strong. I love my cats, man. I'm a cat dad. I love my cats.
I, who would have thought that would have been the life and
Nobody. I was a dog guy, like
me
I don't
too.
think anyone ever imagined I would ever get married, but I'm married and I love my cats. Very
Yeah.
happy. I'm a total house boy. I'm a total house husband. That's what I am. I'm a house husband. I do the dishes. I take care of the cats.
Make dinner?
No, not a
No,
cook. I
not
clean,
a cook.
not a cook. I clean up afterwards though. I just this intermittent fasting thing, I can only eat between 12 and 6. So it's a lot of salads. And, I don't cook. If I cooked, I'd probably be doing better, rice and chicken, but
So
I
what was
don't.
that like? What
It's
was
been
the
awesome,
fasting
bro. It
like?
changed my life. Intermittent fasting, man. I recommend it.
So
It's hard.
how do you do it?
You
Or what
don't
do you
eat,
do?
you can only eat food between 12 noon and 6 p.m. You have a 6 hour window. You fast for 18 hours and you eat for six. That's it. It's easy. That's why I'm doing it. It's just, I don't have to think about it. I'm like, oh, I can't eat yet. God, when can I
Uh,
eat? And I eat whatever I want between 12 and 6. If I had to get really super ready, then I'd watch what I ate between 12 and 6. But right now, I just eat what I want.
What time you wake up in the morning?
Too fucking early. 7.
7.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
hard. Between 7 and noon is difficult. And then after 6, very difficult. It's hard. You have to suffer. But that's how I look at it. It's kind of for this character, of this part. You have to suffer. You want
Method acting.
you want what you want. You want to get what you want. You're willing to do anything to get what you want. You have to be willing to suffer. That's life.
Yeah. And so then are you drinking coffee or anything in the morning
Oh,
or like
tons of coffee and water, tons of
water?
coffee and water, but you can't put cream in it. No creamer. No little,
Just
no cow, no little cow. Just fucking black
straight
coffee
black.
and water.
A- And then so then are you staying up then late or are you like
No,
6 o'clock? You're like, oh, I'm ready to go to bed.
I go to bed around 11. I wish I could go to sleep at like 7, like but I can't. I've got to spend those next 3 hours. Like I'll watch TV and watch these shitty commercials for food and disgusting fast food, like, oh, that's disgusting, but I'm starving. But I would not even eat that. That's disgusting. Like the commercials for food on TV. What a joke. They're just, poisoning us, trying to.
Very, very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not often that I'll eat fast food. I didn't for a long time, but I don't know. It has to be something special. But even then, like even now, it used to be because it was cheaper, but now it's not. Now it costs the same to go to any other restaurant.
Yeah.
Not any other restaurant, but some
They
other
have healthy
restaurants.
fast food now. It's just, but,
Yeah,
yeah, we were
I
never in the habit. I never was in the habit of doing that to myself. It's so gross. But on a special occasion, it's fun, like as a treat.
yeah.
Oh, fuck. I gotta go to Gelson's tomorrow and buy a bunch of pies and, stuffing and gravy and all that stuff at Gelson's and bring it home. We're gonna eat it with my wife. And then we're gonna go see a movie. What are we gonna see? I can't remember what it's called. It's an English movie about the aristocrats, and it's supposed to be really sexy. Saltburn. It
Okay.
looks great. Saltburn. We're gonna see that tomorrow.
Saltburn.
We're gonna hike in the Santa Monica Mountains up off Mulholland. Then we're gonna go to Gelson's and buy a bunch of Thanksgiving food before they throw it away. Eat it, then we're gonna go to a movie. Saltburn. It's gonna be great Thanksgiving, man. What are you gonna do?
I think that's kind of the way to do it. Um, well, got uh like Wawa, like the gas station had a little turkey
How
thing.
nice.
Had some of that. Speaking of healthy food, eating Wawa gas station food, because that's where I am. But I mean, normally, you know, we'll go somewhere early because it's just us out here. Like nobody else lives anywhere around here.
Really?
So
God, what an
yeah,
interesting choice.
yeah. I mean, most everyone else lives back in, look, I guess the closest now is Florida, but like everyone else is on the West Coast, and um, so yeah, like normally we'll go to somewhere to eat, like oh, nothing fancy, like a Cracker Barrel or something
Yeah,
maybe.
fun.
Get it, but not on Thanksgiving though. I found out because it gets pretty crowded in there. But and then go to a casino and walk around. Um, I take $5. I'm big spender here. $5. I put it on the roulette. and either I win $10 and or $5 extra and walk away, or else I give my donation to the local tribe and then just walk around and people watch. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy doing that either on Thanksgiving or Christmas, usually both of those days. The day before Christmas, I used to go to the mall and just watch people. That was fun. And I used to drive through the parking lot too, which was kind of a dick move, and just pretend like I'm gonna park sometime soon.
Oh,
But
fuck. That's so funny. You're an
but
alternative guy.
yeah, it was a little bit, but it was always fun, and like I just enjoy kind of watching everything going on. It's nice to just not have to be stressed on
Right.
these days and just kind of be able to
No pressure. Yeah. I like
yeah,
to do different from what everyone else is doing. That's for sure.
yeah, me too. I'll see people when I see people, and it doesn't need to be like a thing like got to see you here because it's this day. Sort of, and that's sort of how I am with like presents. Like I don't want to buy someone something because it's Christmas and I have to buy something, but I like if I see something in February and it's like, oh, this would be perfect. This is a perfect gift to get. I want to give it to this person, but if I wait until December, is it going to be perfect for them still? I want to go give it to them right now. And that's kind of how I've gone with that. But yeah. So yeah. So where are people going to find you? Where
Well, they should go. They
platforms?
should go to Instagram, John Philbin on my name on Instagram or Facebook. Instagram's the best, but they can go to Pro Surf Instruction if they want a surf lesson. They can go to Instagram or I don't know, IMDb if they want me to be an actor for them. I'm available. They can just go. They can just John Philbin. Google me. It's
Yeah,
fun.
we'll get you a role where you'll be able to have someone telling you your lines.
I would love that.
Yeah, I think
Love
that
it. I look
yeah,
forward to it. I'm living
it,
for
it's time. I mean, and so I mean now you can like you get to have a different time than when you were younger, and you get whole different roles are opening up for like you couldn't play a an older guy back then, and
it. Now I
now you
can.
can. Now you can, and
I want to.
yeah, and yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's gonna happen.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and
Thanks, Rusty.
yeah, you're welcome, John. And yeah, we'll it'd be cool to have you back, like in a
Yeah,
year or
fun talking
so.
to you
And
again. That was fun. I
yeah,
can't deny it. That's loud. We
yeah,
love laughs.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy it. All right. Yeah, cool. Have a great rest of your night, and yeah,
Happy
I'll stay in touch.
Thanksgiving. You
You too.
too.
Happy Thanksgiving.